Hi everyone, my name is Michèle from Transport Canada.
And I'm Jared from Code for Canada. And we're here today to talk to you about something that you're all probably familiar with or have experienced. But before that, I'd like to share a quick story. I recently made an online purchase for a custom face mask. I know, don't ask. I did some searching, found what I wanted, inputted my information, and I hit submit. And then I waited. I was waiting for some kind of confirmation email or something to inform me of next steps. I actually had to reach out to the company to find out what was going on, and this left me feeling a little confused and anxious. Now, this is just an onboarding experience for an online purchase. Who cares? But imagine this was something much more significant, like your career. Imagine you had a family to support, or you just graduated and you're waiting to start your dream job. You're waiting because you need to pass your security screening before you could receive a letter of offer. Now, this isn't something that happens daily for you, but it's probably something that most of you can relate to. But why does security screening matter? Well, it's a critical process that ensures the safety of not just public servants, but really Canada as a whole.
Although this process may not impact you, it is definitely something that impacts all three levels of government daily. The public service employs 3.6 million Canadians, representing 20% of the workforce and almost 10% of the Canadian population. Every single one of these people has had to go through security screening. This process really does impact someone's career in the government. And at Transport Canada, there are close to 6,000 employees across the country and approximately 3,000 security screening requests that need to be processed annually. Despite this being something that many of you have experienced, it's probably not an experience you're all familiar with, and there's a good reason for that. There's a real risk in getting security screening wrong. This is why the process is very opaque when you look at it from the outside. The team couldn't exactly Google security screening best practices for obvious reasons, so we worked closely with C4C to conduct market research. We painfully, thoroughly, went through every single step, from the policies, and there are a lot of policies, to touchpoints, systems, and external stakeholders. Now, with an understanding of how security screening functions from a holistic view, the team could then dive into user research.
Like everyone else during this pandemic, we had to adapt to different ways of working. We had to ask ourselves, is user research even possible during the pandemic? It turns out, yes. So over 7 weeks of user research, we were able to connect and empathize with 6 different user groups, from security screening superintendents to hiring managers to applicants, totaling 16 interviews. Angie, our government partner, facilitated many of these connections that allowed us to conduct remote user research that yielded key insights during the pandemic. Angie facilitating these relationships on behalf of the Code for Canada fellows who were new to the team and experienced the process firsthand as applicants themselves meant that we were not blocked with speaking with users. And this proved to be a huge advantage for the team.
Building an extensive user research plan of action was crucial to our success. We aggregated our data to distill key pain points in the current experience and identified opportunities for improvements. We also created personas and mapped out jobs to be done to help us empathize with the problems our users were facing and to bring a human connection to the issues. For example, if you haven't hired somebody for a while, or if you're a new manager, it can be sometimes difficult to quickly navigate through the security screening process. And honestly, mainly because it's mostly manual and email driven. And I know this because I'm a hiring manager. Onboarding a new team member in a timely manner can sometimes be challenging.
Michèle's feedback resonated with much of the other hiring managers we spoke to. And we learned a few other things. We learned from our research that security screening is a complex, paper-based, and manual process. We learned that hiring managers play a pivotal role in communicating and guiding the applicant through the necessary steps. Our user research also showed that there was a lack of a consistent approach and knowledge transfer to security screening for hiring managers. And this isn't anyone's fault. If there's turnover, for example, or someone leaves for vacation, it's hard for a new hiring manager to understand how everything in the experience flows. And as a result, applicants weren't exactly sure what they needed to do, where they were in the process, and what was next. Their expectations weren't necessarily being managed. Now, back to that custom face mask purchase that left me feeling a little confused and anxious. After speaking with the owner, she communicated that this is just a part-time hustle and that she's doing everything manually, from invoicing to delivery to confirmation emails. She helped manage my expectations, and I was more understanding because of this conversation. This experience reinforced our findings, and we came to realize that security screening is a crucial part of onboarding and should be treated as such. It's an opportunity for Transport Canada to define what good is and to create a lasting positive impression. These two distinct but related findings help drive our product focus. On one hand, for hiring managers, we thought, how might we develop an integrated security screening system to automate the repetitive tasks in order to expedite the process and create a better experience for applicants and frontline staff? And on the flip side, for applicants, we thought, how might we clearly communicate the security clearance process, documentation, and timeframe to applicants so they are prepared and have their expectations managed? It turns out that the product focus of developing an integrated security screening system complements one of Michèle's team's initiatives of leveraging low code.
Low code is a unique way to make digital products with ease and speed. It allows teams to build products with little to no coding experience. You can drag and drop elements or draw business process flows instead of coding line by line. For example, this is a business process diagram for security screening that powers the back-end processing of requests. So how can low code help? Well, low code is about accelerating digital innovation and transformation. It allows for team mobility and rapid development. If there are operational changes such as COVID-19 measures, which we've all been impacted by, the team can quickly react. You won't need an entire IT team to make the changes. You know, some of those mundane tasks you do every day and you ask yourself, why do I have to do this? Well, leveraging low code and a business process management approach can help you automate those complex and not so complex business needs. A low code business process management approach is powerful on its own, but is greatly enhanced through interoperability with other tools via APIs. Whether that be tools like communications, information management, other digital services, or cross-referencing against existing data sources. But more importantly, what low code and business process management really do is that it breaks down the silos between the people that build things and the people that use them to help create a better experience for all.
And that experience extends to not just Transport Canada, but also to the people hoping to have careers there, applicants. Moving the complex and paper-based process online still wouldn't solve all the pain points for hiring managers and applicants. So our product focus is on helping navigate the applicant through security screening via automated and personalized communications. You could think of it as part of an onboarding experience where we take the applicant's hand and guide them through the necessary tasks that need to be completed. We've named our product Atlas for these reasons. So how does Atlas work? Well, the applicant's information is inputted into the new low code solution. Atlas takes those inputs and automatically sends a personalized email to the applicant with the relevant information. Like how long it would take, where you are in the process, what documents are required, and what comes next. And when the application is submitted and reviewed, the applicant will receive another email informing them of what's expected. And this continues to happen after each completed step. Just like all of us, we've had to adapt to the pandemic. For example, during COVID, it's not exactly safe to conduct fingerprinting. So as an interim solution, we are able to design a template for criminal record checks and integrate into the workflow to ensure that the correct information is being communicated. We're able to quickly build templates and easily switch if business operations change. The conditional logic makes the emails feel more human by providing the relevant information, like the type of documents required if you're applying to top secret, or estimated processing times for different levels of clearances. So what's powering Atlas?
It's actually a tool called GC Notify, a product developed by government for government to help public departments send out SMS messages and emails. Shout out to the Canada Digital Services who leverage the open source code from the UK government digital services.
This aligns with Michèle's and the broader team's vision of automating security screening. David, our developer, was able to integrate directly into the current workflow in half a day. He even gave Atlas a dedicated page to make it even easier to test and manage.
GC Notify is super simple to set up and use. So from a sustainability standpoint, this is something that can be iterated upon even with changing team members. Since it's developed using open source code from the UK GDS, it eliminates the need for burdensome procurement processes, thank God, allowing the team to test and validate ideas faster. Ultimately, this is all in service of onboarding people better.
A better onboarding experience means that 10% of the Canadians that work in public service are able to start supporting themselves, their loved ones, and begin their careers sooner.
Also, if an applicant is able to start their career faster, they're able to contribute to Transport Canada's goals and objectives much faster.
But what's really exciting is that we have a chance to bring this to Canada's largest employer. In the closing weeks of our fellowship, we've been able to meet with teams that handle security screening across government. And there's a real opportunity for other teams to scale this within their own departments because low code and open source technologies make this easy. Now is the time to really be doing this work. With 20% of federal public servants eligible for retirement, we're about to onboard the next generation, and this presents a perfect opportunity. With a low-code solution as our advantage, applicants and frontline staff having a better onboarding experience will be our victory.
The team is much larger than Jared and I, so we'd like to give a huge shout out to the rest of the team. So thank you, Irina, Jacques, David, Angie,
Bridget, Guy, Mark, and Jude. This wouldn't be possible without all of you. So thank you.
Thank you.